How important is your success in your career to you? You have to ask yourself that. So you want to remove yourself from the toxic people. All right? Another thing I want everybody to acknowledge is that you really have to stretch yourself. You have to stretch yourself. Life will get uncomfortable. Repeat after me. It's hard.
It's hard.
Repeat it again. It's hard.
It's hard.
That's right. Life is hard. It's hard. I'm not going to stand up here and do some song and dance and act like life is good for me and I never go through anything. No. It's hard. I deal. But one thing that gets me through, when I was younger, my parents divorced when I was about 7 years old. I was young. It's an abusive marriage, and my father used to hit on her, and one day he left for work, and we packed up and we rode out. All right? And, my mom, she got on aid for a while. It was tough. It was tough. And I can remember, in Detroit, Michigan, we have a restaurant called Coney Island. And it's all over the place. It's everywhere. It's kind of like, I don't know what you compare it to here, but we got them everywhere. There's like hundreds of them. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm from there.
It's hundreds of them. But they got the best chili dogs and chili cheese fries ever. But my mom, she would take us to Coney Island. She would save up money. She was going to school to be a nurse, which she's been now for 25 years. She had 3 kids going to school and working part-time. So she would save up her money and she would take us out there to Coney Island. And boy, you would have thought that she was taking us to Ruth's Chris because, really, she would say, "We're going to Coney Island." And, as a kid, I don't know, how y'all grew up, but in my family, you had one suit, and that was your Sunday suit. So, I'd run and go try to put on, boy, go take that Sunday suit off and go put these clothes on. I'm excited. We're going to Coney Island. She would take us out there, but we also used to get hand-me-downs from friends of ours and my cousins who were bigger than me. They lived in the neighborhood. They knew mom was a single mother out there, and child support hadn't kicked in yet, and so we were struggling. And so a buddy of mine, Derek Walker, he was a couple years older than me. He would send some shoes. Now, his parents always kept them nice. And I was 10 years old. This was the late 80s, about 88, 89. And he said, "Derek sent you some shoes," and they was Bally's. And in the late 80s, Bally's was, hitting up there, So he gave me the Bally's, and I said, "Mom, I appreciate the shoes, but, I wear a 9.5. Derek wears size 9. She said, "Boy," she told my brother, his name was Robert, said, "Robert," call him Scoop. "Scoop, go get me some Vaseline." My little sister's name was Lene. Lene, go run that bath water. What's going on? She started to rub the Vaseline on my feet. She said, "Put your feet in them shoes, boy, and don't stomp the heel." "Oh, yes, ma'am." Now get in that tub and start walking back and forth. Now imagine being 10 years old with some too tight shoes on with Vaseline on your feet walking back and forth in the tub. But, I'm doing it. She said, "Walk back and forth." So I'm walking back and forth, and she's distracting me. "How was school today?" Because I used to get into trouble. "How was school today?" "School was good." You do anything wrong?" "No, ma'am." "Well, you was talking to somebody today. How them shoes feel?" "Well, they feel a little bit better, but they're still a little tight." "All right, keep on walking. So, I'm going back and forth about 15, 20 minutes of this, but what happened was, as the leather absorbed the water, the leather began to stretch. And it became a perfect fit on my feet. So at times, life is going to be a little uncomfortable, okay? That's when you know you're doing something right. That's when you know you're going in a direction. You're challenging yourself. You're stretching yourself. But when you wear it for a little while, walk around in it for a little while, it feels pretty good after that. It's nothing, it feels good. People talk about Fortune 500 companies, doing more with less. My mama been doing that for a long time. But you have to stretch yourself. You have to challenge yourself. So while you all are in here, what are you going to do when this school is over? What are you going to do? I know some people who are seminar junkies, and what that is every seminar in town, I see them. They buying the big packages, they buying $5,000, $10,000 packages. They walk around with their ribbons. "Yeah, I bought the most expensive pack." "But did you do anything with it?" No, not yet. I'm going to do it in a little bit, but, I got to wait till things work themselves out. Next seminar coming down, same people there, buying the main baggage. "Hey, you do something with it yet?" "In a minute, I am, but just kind of waiting on things to line up for me." They seminar junkies. Some people are school junkies. They go to school school, it sounds cool to tell people, well, I'm in school, girl. I'm in school. They like to use that when they get home too. The dishes out there, we're gonna make something to eat for dinner. Don't you know I just got out of school? Tired. Can't do that. Tired. School. Just got out. But they donkeys with it. But also know a lot of people, they go through, they give all of this dedication, they give all of this time to get out. And then the first time a door slams in their face or they face rejection, they quit. You know what they say? I knew it. Because their friend is right there, that player hater right there. I told you there was with no jobs. With no jobs. But you know what I found? The people that say, oh, there's no jobs out there, the economy, they're right for them. But I also know some other people who say, man, in a down economy, a lot of money is made. Some of the wealthiest people this country has ever seen made their wealth during economic recessions and downturns, people. Because while everybody's backpedaling, those few are forging ahead. And guess what? When it levels back out, they so far ahead of the pack, nobody can ever catch them. So when you get out here, prepare yourself. You're going to get told no. You're going to apply for that job or that career opportunity, because job stands for just over broke. I don't know if y'all understand that. Job stands for just over broke. I don't do jobs. Careers, I have them. But job is just over broke. Think about it. Who have jobs? McDonald's people have jobs. I'm not knocking that, some great careers in McDonald's. But you got to change your paradigm of how you see what you're doing. You're establishing a career, right? That's why you're here, I assume. How many we got any school junkies? But as you go out there, competition, remember I said that unemployment, look around you. How many people in this room are in your class going for the same exact positions you are? So what do you bring to the table that stands out? What value do you bring to that business or to that organization where they just have to have you? What do you bring? What talents do you have? It's not always the most knowledgeable people who get the job. Understand that. I know a lot of straight A people with a lot of degrees don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. And yet I know some people who barely graduated high school but are hungry, attack dogs, and they go for it. Because every time they hear a no, they get excited. When I hear a no, it used to rattle me. When I first started speaking, I'm calling around and saying, hey, I'm Brian, I want to come in there. Can I do it? Can I come and speak for your group? You got any credentials? No, I went to school for 3 years, but I dropped out. But I do have some college. But do you have any formal training? Well, I read a couple of books, but sorry, sir, can't help you. And doing that, facing that rejection, I parked. I pulled right off the highway. Went back to my comfort zone, which was sales. Went back to my comfort zone. Pulled off the road. But a friend of mine, my best friend since first grade, his name is Maxwell. He's the author of a new book, The Ancient 20. So if you guys get a chance, just go Google The Ancient 20, check it out. And he said, Brian, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I said, hey, man, I want to speak, but nobody's giving me a shot. I've been honing my skills. I've been reading. I record myself. I video myself. I know I got it. But nobody's giving me a chance, man. I need to just stick with the sales thing. He said, you Brian Maxwell, man. Don't let those couple rejections stop you. Get back out there and go for it. And I did. About 15 rejections later, finally got my first speaking engagement. And the rest is history. So I say that to say this. As you go out there, attack it like it's your last day alive. Attack it every day. Every day, because it very well may be. They say the ideal situation for a person when they're passing away is to be at their deathbed and have their wife and kids and, family members around with them. Maybe saying a prayer or their last goodbyes and, seeing them all, bidding them a farewell. Now imagine you on your deathbed, okay, with every dream, aspiration, and goal that you ever had around with you in that room. Saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. Only you could have made this happen. But now we must die right here with you. Go for it. Stretch yourself. Be all that you can be. Give it all you got. What do you have to lose? Like Donald Trump said, you got to think, you might as well think positive. Helen Keller said it best. Life is short. Eat the dessert first. Yeah. So when y'all go out there, stretch yourself. Challenge yourself. When that door's shut, yeah, that's another no out the way. Another no down. Next. But you have to do your part. See, a lot of people have an entitlement mentality. They think the world owes them something. Somebody owes them something. They owe me respect. I've heard people tell me, you know what? I'm not going to work harder until they give me a raise. Where they do that? You know? You know, that's what I call bass backwards. Because that's not the way it works. Don't nobody owe you anything. You owe yourself. Period. So when you get out of this school, don't let this be the end of your education. Don't let this stop. It don't stop when the teachers shut the doors and you get that certificate. This is a lifelong commitment. Don't be one of the people I run into one day out and about and say, hey, what's up? Did you get that position? You doing your thing? Oh, no, I decided to do something else. Really? Or did you face a couple no's and chicken out, tuck tail and run and hide? So ask yourself that, you know. What are you willing to give to get what you want? You know what they say about it? In order to be successful and have the things that others don't have, you got to be willing to do the things that others don't do. You have to. So stretch yourself, folks. And make know your vitamin. So while you go out here and you approach these positions and these companies, you have to think outside the box. You know, the days of faxing a resume or emailing a resume. It's over 14 million unemployed people, and there's a lot of them here in Jacksonville. So that one position may have 300 people going for it. So how do you stand out? What do? You get creative. You get proactive. You find that office that you want to be in. You go and introduce yourself to that person. You hand deliver that resume to them. Order some lunch up there to the office. Be the best $20 you ever spent on some pizzas. I do it all the time. If there's a group I want to speak, hey, listen, y'all hungry. You know, something out there. Think about that. You're standing out. How many other people would do that? You think they'll remember you? Be unconventional. Think outside the box. Stand out. Make it count. Okay? And if you do all those things, all of you will be absolutely fine. And I wish all of you the best. I hope that everybody achieves what it is they came in for. But I want you all to remember that each one of you has something great special. Each one of you has greatness in you. And I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you all.